You got into a car crash, maybe felt fine in the moment, and didn't call the police. But now, the pain's setting in, and you're wondering if you can still file a claim. And in Florida, no police report just means more questions, more pushback, and a much harder time proving what actually happened. I'm Pablo Tamayo, a personal injury attorney here in Florida, and I've helped clients recover compensation even when there was no report. Just photos, good documentation, and the right legal steps. In this video, I'll walk you through how to file a car accident claim without a police report, what evidence you need, and why acting fast can make or break your case. Because once the other driver changes their story or stops responding, your version of events has to stand on its own, and the clock's already ticking. Now, let's get straight to the heart of today's question. Can you file a car accident claim without a police report? I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works in Florida, what risks you might face, the steps you'll need to take, and a few important do's and don'ts along the way. We're going to make this easy to follow, and I'll share real-world examples so you know what to expect if you're ever stuck in this situation. Do you always need a police report in Florida? So here's the real deal. In Florida, the law does not necessarily require a police report for every car accident. However, you are required to stop and exchange your basic information with the other driver in any accident, no matter how large or small. Now, as a personal injury attorney, I always recommend calling the police as a matter of best practice, even for smaller accidents. But let's say you didn't, or maybe you couldn't call the police for whatever reason, but you did exchange info with the other driver. So you were able to collect their name, registration, and insurance information. The big question is, can you still file an injury claim? You can file a claim without a police report, and here's how. The short answer is yes, you can file a car accident claim in Florida without a police report. Insurance companies, and even the courts, will probably still consider your claim. The key is you'll need other ways to show what happened, who was involved, and how you were harmed. Let's break down the main things you'll need to do. Number one, gather your own evidence immediately. Especially if there's no police report, it's on you to play detective. Start by taking lots of photos at the scene. Your car, the other car, the road, any skid marks, traffic lights, and even nearby landmarks. Snap pictures from different angles. The more detail, the better. Next, get contact info for anyone who saw the crash. Did someone run over from the side to help? Did a shop owner come outside to check on you? Do they have surveillance? Get their names and numbers if at all possible. Witnesses can be a game changer when the story isn't clear and there's no police report to act as a neutral record. Write down everything you remember as soon as you're able. Even small details like which direction you and the other car were going, the speed limit, what was the weather like, what the other driver said. That can matter later on as well. And so finally, look around for cameras. Many intersections and businesses that have cameras that might have caught your accident. If you see one, make a note and ask for footage right away, because a lot of places delete their videos after just a few days. Number two, report the accident to your insurance company quickly. Florida is a no-fault state, which basically means that your own insurance usually pays for your injuries first, no matter who was at fault. But they still want to know what happened, and they'll be on the lookout for anything that suggests that you may be exaggerating or even making it up. If you don't have a police report, your insurance company is going to ask a lot of questions. Always be honest, straightforward, and detailed. Share any photos you took, witness information you have, any other notes you took at the scene. The more organized you are, the more likely they are to take your claim seriously. And number three, be prepared for more pushback. And so here's the hard truth. Not having a police report can make your claim more difficult. Insurance adjusters may be more skeptical. The other driver's insurance may flat out deny responsibility, claiming your version doesn't match theirs. If the other driver changes their story after the fact, it's your word against theirs. And so let me tell you about a real situation with a client, and we'll call her Lisa. She was hit while waiting at a stop sign in a parking lot, and her car was damaged, but still drivable. But she was in a rush that day to pick up her kids. So she and the other driver exchanged information, but they agreed not to call the cops. So about a week later, the achy stiffness in her neck started turning into serious pain and headaches, and she tried to file a claim. The other driver told his insurance that it was Lisa's fault and not the other way around. No police report, no witnesses, and suddenly Lisa had to prove a much harder case. The solution? Gather as much proof as you can, photos of the placement and damages to the vehicles, text messages, recordings if possible, and witnesses. Your own attorney can help track down more evidence, but the sooner you start, the better. And number 4, medical records matter more than ever. Police reports often list if anyone complained of pain or needed medical care at the scene or was transferred to a hospital. While a police officer is not a medical professional, without any mentions of complaints of injury at the scene, your medical records become even more important. If you're hurt, even a little, achy, stiff, get medical attention as soon as you can. Tell your doctor exactly what happened, how you were hit, and what you're feeling and where. If there's a gap between the accident and your first doctor's visit, insurance companies may try to say you weren't really injured or that some intervening incident after your accident caused your injuries. And so let me share another quick example. A client in Orlando thought he was pretty much fine after a rear end accident. He didn't get checked out until 2 weeks later. When the pain became basically unbearable, the insurance company tried to deny his claim, saying if he was really hurt, he'd have gone to the doctor sooner. Because he kept a journal of his symptoms and explained the delay, we were able to build a case. But it took much more work than if he'd seen a doctor right away to track his aches and pains from the beginning. And so number 5, you might still need to contact law enforcement later. Sometimes you might start the process without a police report. And so maybe the other driver starts ghosting you, or you discover your injuries are worse than you initially thought because you tried to just work through it. But in Florida, you can file a driver of exchange information report with the DMV if the police didn't come out. This isn't the same as a full police report, but it creates an official record that the crash happened, and it's always better than nothing. Plus, you start getting threats or other driver turns out to be uninsured, it's smart to loop in the police even days after the fact. They may not write a full report, but they can document your concerns. And so some claims are harder without a police report in reality, and you should also know that certain kinds of claims are much tougher without an official report. If you were hit by an uninsured driver or a hit and run, that police report is often required for your own insurance to pay out under your uninsured motorist coverage, if you have it, and I hope you do, or personal injury protection coverage. So, can you file a claim without a police report? Yes, you can. But if you're dealing with anything more than a minor scrape, or you think there might be a dispute about what happened, call the police if you can, every time. It will lock the other driver into their story to the police at the scene and give them less time to think about ways to avoid responsibility for the accident and blame it on you. Some practical tips to protect yourself. Always take way too many photos, not too few. Ask for the other driver's full name, license, and their insurance information and take a clear photo of each. If the other driver seems nervous or asks you not to call the police, ask yourself why. Never let someone pressure you into skipping the official report. Write down your own statement as soon as you're able. Memories fade fast, so that's important to keep your memory as fresh as you can. Save any text, emails, and voicemails about the crash, especially with the other driver. And so when dealing with the fallout from a car accident, it can be stressful, especially without a police report. If you're feeling overwhelmed or the insurance company is dragging its feet, that's the time to call an experienced Florida accident attorney. An attorney can help gather missing evidence, contact witnesses, request the camera footage, and handle stubborn insurance companies. I've seen dozens of cases where people thought a missing police report would ruin their chances. But with the help of an experienced attorney and the right approach, those claims can and do succeed. So, can you file a car accident claim in Florida without a police report? Yes, you can, but you need to act quickly, gather your own evidence, and be prepared for a few extra challenges along the way. If you're in this situation right now, don't panic, just take the next best step. And if you have questions, reach out. I'm always happy to talk things through with you and see what happens with the case and how we can help. Now, if you found this video helpful, you definitely don't want to miss our next video, the 5 secrets to making your car accident claim easy. And that one will walk you through the smartest moves to get your claim paid faster with less stress and avoid the mistakes that trip up most drivers. So protect your rights and make your life easier. And click over right now. I'll see you over there.